Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Kong Skull Island, number 2 would be Logan, number 3 would be Get Out, number 4 would be The Shack, and number 5 would be the Lego Batman movie, and I got all 5 of my predictions right. Normally I'd be really happy when that happens, but this weekend it was kind of easy to predict, so it's not like I'm ecstatic over it, but hey, at least I got my predictions right. Well, anyways, let's go over what actually happened. Number 1 was Kong Skull Island. It made $61 million this weekend, and it had an opening worldwide of $142 million, which is actually a little bit larger than what studios originally anticipated. It was estimated to open at around 40 to 45 million, so at least it got up to at least 60 million. This is a decent start for a film that's on a budget of $185 million. It needs to get around 370 to double that budget or to break even, although there are some reports saying that it needs to get to 500 million to break even, but I'm sure it will after having an opening like this, and I hope that it actually does well, even though I thought it was disappointing. If this movie doesn't do well, then we probably won't be getting that Godzilla vs. Kong movie, or the Godzilla 2 movie. That might be in the can too, so at least this movie is still doing good enough to warrant those sequels that I'm actually looking forward to. At number 2, we have Logan. This weekend it made $37 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $152 million. And on the worldwide chart, it is at $343 million. That is awesome for this film, especially since its budget is $97 million and it's already doubled and tripled that budget. I'm so happy that this movie's doing so well. I just hope movie studios don't confuse this movie's success and the success of Deadpool, as in all movies need to be R-rated to be successful, which is not true. At number 3, we have Get Out. This weekend barely dropped once again as far as the other weekends. Its opening weekend had around 30 million, the second weekend had around like $28 million, and this weekend it made around $21 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $111 million, which is super fantastic for this film. It's been getting a lot of buzz lately. Like Chris Pratt made an Instagram video talking about how awesome it was, which it is, so I'm glad a lot of people are going out to see it. I'm glad it made over $100 million, and since it's on a budget of $4.5 million, it's not like it was going to do horribly at the box office either way, but I'm just so happy that this movie's doing well, and particularly because I love this film, one of the better Blumhouse horror films that we've been getting. At number 4, we have The Shack. This weekend it made $10 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $32 million. Now, it's on a budget of $20 million, so it needs at least $8 million more to break even on that part, because, you know, doubling is usually what shows what needs to be breaking even. At number 5, we have the Lego Batman movie, which made $7 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $159 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is at $268 million. On the worldwide chart, it only needs $32 million more dollars to get to $300 million worldwide, and I'm hoping that it does do that. I think it's picking up enough pace to be able to do that, or at least get close. Even though this movie isn't as big as the first Lego movie, I'm still very happy that it has made as much money as it has, because for a movie being about Lego Batman, it's actually much better than you'd anticipate, and I'm glad people are realizing that and going out to see it. At number 6, we have Before I Fall, which I didn't think would still be like around the same area it was last weekend, but here it is. It made $3 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $9 million, and it's only $1 million away from doubling its budget of $5 million, so that's pretty good for it. I haven't seen it, and I have no interest in seeing it because it looks like a ripoff of Groundhog Day, so moving on to number 7, which is Hidden Figures, which made $2,765,000 this weekend, and that adds to a domestic total of $162 million, and on the worldwide chart, it has crossed the milestone of $200 million worldwide, which is fantastic for this film. I'm so glad a lot of people are actually finding this film and watching it and loving it, because it is a really good film. I can't say that I love it as much as a lot of people do, but I'm glad that a lot of people do love it and do want to go see it, because it is a really good movie that deserves a lot of money. Also, a movie that deserves a lot of money, number 8, John Wick Chapter 2. This weekend it made $2,700,000, so this and Hidden Figures might switch when the actual numbers come out. It's made $87 million domestically in total, and on the worldwide chart it is at $153 million. It's at least $7 million away from 40, 80, 120, quadrupling its $40 million budget, which is very good. I think it'll be able to do that for sure. Maybe, I hope so. I hope it doesn't just die off right now. I don't think it will. At number 9, we have La La Land. It's still around. It made $1,770,000 this weekend. That adds to a domestic total of $148 million. And on the worldwide chart, it is at $416 million. I thought for sure it would be gone this weekend because last week it was at number 10, but it actually went up to the number 9 spot because at number 10, it's a movie that's dropped a lot in the top 10, being 50 Shades Darker. This movie made $1,629,000 this weekend. That adds to a domestic total of 112, and on the worldwide chart, it is at $368 million. So at least it didn't get to $400 million while it was still in the top 10. That's like the only bright side I can get out of this, honestly. Now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. I think it'll be kind of easy, but then again, there's one movie that might be a wild card. I'm going to say number 1 is Beauty and the Beast, obviously. That movie's already tracking to make so much money anyways. Then I'm going to say number 2 is Kong Skull Island. Number 3 is Logan. Number 4 is Get Out. And then I'm going to say number 5, I think the Belko Experiment has a chance. I honestly think it do. I've been seeing a lot of commercials for it, so I think people are aware of what this film is and might be interested to go see it. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave it in the comments below, and if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.